Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
High pressure is back and bringing you some colder air this morning. I'll show you how much colder than what we saw yesterday.
It's election day. Today you have your say. You can make your say on the next leaders in your community. What you need to know before headed to the polls in your town. And cut in half. Families in North Carolina will get SNAP benefits this month, but not as much as normal. Where you can go if you need help making ends meet. Good Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on WRAL News. I am Chris Lovingood. We do want to begin this morning talking about the weather forecast today. Also, that cool moon outside, Elizabeth. I think tomorrow's supposed to be a pretty good show as well. Yeah, tomorrow is officially the full super moon. They call it the beaver moon this time of year, and we'll take a look at it. We can't see it on this camera, but we'll definitely find some cameras this morning where you can take a peek at it. And of course, you can just walk outside and take a look. It looks absolutely beautiful. 42 is our temperature. Our wind is light, fortunately, so we don't have any wind chill to deal with, but it's chilly out there. 46 in Roxborough, 47 Rocky Mount and Wilson, 42 in Durham. And of course, these temperatures are much cooler than what we saw yesterday, anywhere from 5 to about 10 or 11 degrees cooler. So that's a pretty big temperature change for us. This afternoon, it warms up pretty quickly, actually. We'll climb to 68, so we hit almost 70 degrees. Wind is going to be an issue going forward this week, especially tomorrow. We'll take a look at how gusty it will be and why coming up. Sounds good, Elizabeth. We'll come back to you in just a bit. Let's go to some breaking news that we're following. A person is seriously hurt after they were hit by a car in Raleigh. Video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows the scene along Trayrick Road near New Bern Avenue. This crash happened around 2 a.m. and Raleigh police say the person who was hit was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. But so far, no charges have been filed against the driver. In less than 2 hours, polls open for local elections across North Carolina, and voters in nearly all cities and towns will be picking new leaders. Let's bring on Laura Levine. She's at Herbert C. Young Community Center in Cary. Laura, every community in Wake County is voting today except Raleigh.
Chris, good morning. Yes, voters will be able to hit the polls today at places here like the Herbert C. Young Community Center behind me. And so far, actually here in Cary is where we're seeing the largest voter turnout, where more than 8,000 voters cast their ballots during early voting. So here's what you need to know today. Voters in 13 municipalities across Wake County will have one last chance to cast a ballot today beginning at 6:30 a.m. And there are no local elections in unincorporated parts of Wake County and in the city of Raleigh, which has elections in even numbered years. So to participate, voters must live in and be registered to vote in the municipality where the election is taking place. Voters must bring a valid photo ID when voting in person. And if you don't have your ID when you vote, you can still vote and then bring your ID to your county board of elections by noon on Friday. So we know that the local municipal races tend to fly under the radar. WRAL state government reporter Will Doran says 2 years ago, only 15% of people actually voted in local city or town races.
These races can really make a big difference in people's lives. They set policies for growth and property taxes, public safety in your city. They decide where to build new parks or sidewalks or which of the city-owned roads might need attention.
Absolutely. So voters can vote until 7:30 tonight. If you're in line at 7:30, you can still cast a ballot. Meanwhile, if you're looking for a full guide of election information as well as real-time election results, you can head over to WRAL.com. We have that information for you. Laura Levine, WRAL News. We're live in Cary.
In Durham, incumbent Mayor Leo Williams is seeking a second term. He's led Durham since 2023. Williams faced 4 challengers in last month's primary and won more votes than all of them combined. He now faces the best performing one of those challengers in a one-on-one race, Anjani Bell. She's the daughter of former Mayor Bill Bell. And in Fayetteville, Mayor Mitch Colvin is seeking re-election. He faces a challenge from City Council member Kathy Keefe Jensen. She placed second in last month's 10-person primary. Stick with WRAL tonight because we're going to have team coverage on our local elections. Eric Miller will be following the Fayetteville mayoral race, and Monica Casey will be tracking Durham's race. You can find out what races are on your ballot, and to search for your polling place, you can go to WRAL.com. You'll find our election preview on the homepage, and you can count on WRAL for results as they come in. People who depend on SNAP funding will get some of their benefits for November, but not all of them. Yesterday, the Trump administration confirmed it will use emergency funds to keep the program going through the government shutdown. However, recipients will only get half of their normal benefits. That affects about 80,000 people in Wake County. One of these people is Shanisha Williams, a single mother of 3.
I want them to step up. You know, we voted for you guys, and y'all supposed to fight for us. And I don't feel like you're fighting for us at all.
Wake County leaders say they expect the government shutdown to affect November SNAP payments too. They're expected to come, just it's not clear when. And to help families fill in the gaps, the Durham Rescue Mission is hosting a food giveaway tomorrow. It'll be drive-through, walk-up style to anyone in need. This will be on the main campus from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you're encouraged to go early because it is first come, first serve. Today, Wake County Schools will be looking at changes to its budget as it waits for the state to pass a funding plan. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live outside Wake County Public School headquarters. Kelsey, the changes the board will look at today do not include raises, though.
Well, Chris, today Wake school leaders are working on filling in gaps in their budget. Here at the board headquarters, your child's teachers may not be getting, or rather they would be getting just a fraction of the raise that school leaders were planning to offer. So the district is more than $40 million short in state and county funding to cover salaries. The board planned on offering a 3% base salary increase by using state funding. But the state budget is still not complete 4 months after the due date. State lawmakers passed a mini budget instead that will only allow less than a 1% pay raise for teachers. This funding gap comes as health insurance premiums are increasing for about 80% of school district employees. WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst explains who won't be eligible for a raise at all.
But principals, bus drivers, instructional assistants, cafeteria workers, custodians, and a bunch of other people have not gotten any kind of step increase or wage increase at all.
So school leaders will only be discussing this budget today. A vote could come as early as November 18th. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Now, after that budget meeting, the Wake County School Board has a full afternoon of work. First, the board will discuss changing to Spotlight on Students events into separate events. Now, they say the Spotlight has outgrown the venue. Then, the school system will present their plan to improve low-performing schools. The State Board of Education will meet today as well. It's the first of a 3-day work session. The first 2 days are planning meetings held every year. Most of today's work session will be going over the state's plan for schools. Former State Representative Cecil Brockman appeared in a Guilford County courtroom. Now, his bond was reduced from more than $1 million to $250,000. Brockman is accused of statutory sex offense with a child. He resigned from his seat last week. And yesterday in court, he told a judge he wanted a chance to address what he called lies from prosecutors. The Guilford County Democratic Party is holding a meeting on November 15th to nominate Brockman's replacement. A new plan will bring more affordable housing to Durham's Hayti community. The project is called Fayette Place. The historically black neighborhood will be getting more than 250 affordable housing units. Durham leaders voted unanimously last night to allow private investors to be a part of this project. Doing so comes with tax advantages. It'll be built at the intersection of Umstead and Grant Streets off 147. The project will cost a total of $44 million, and construction should start next year. Fayetteville police is searching for a murder suspect. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was on that scene on Waterdown Drive. That's where police found a person there with a gunshot wound, and that person did die at the hospital. Their name has not been released, and police are asking anyone with information to contact them. Nash County school resource officers are now armed with what's called a breaching shotgun. It's a tool once reserved for SWAT teams. A breaching shotgun essentially is designed to break through locks and reach students faster. Instead of using projectiles that could ricochet into a classroom, well, they'll use a powder to break the locks safely. We could not find another district in the area using these.
Some of the places that have had these bad incidents, the doors have been locked and chained and things of that nature, and EMS and law enforcement cannot get into the schools immediately. And remember, time is of essence.
These new shotguns are part of a greater effort in Nash County to put new tools in place for school resource officers. And these officers were also recently trained to use ballistic shields. Today, we expect an update on changes you could see coming to downtown Raleigh. The City Council is meeting today to talk about reimagining Fayetteville Street. They want to use $1 million to revamp it. And council members will consider adding some things there to make it give it a little more character. Now, this includes art installations and a new City Plaza stage. And the council meets at 1 p.m. Well, the Arizona Cardinals snapped a 5-game losing streak with a Monday night win over the Dallas Cowboys. During last night's game on ESPN, Cardinals quarterback Jacoby Brissett stepped in for Kyler Murray. He was out with a foot injury. Brissett scored 2 touchdowns with his arm and 1 with his feet. It's pretty dope. His alma mater, NC State, would be proud. The Cowboys tried to slow the Cardinals down, but they could not do it. Arizona wins it 27-17, handing Dallas its second straight loss. Your time is 4:40 this morning. New dangers of vaping. New research from Duke ties vaping to possible issues during pregnancy. Why it's about more than the nicotine. And a search for suspects. Police in Boston are looking for 2 people they say ran away from an explosion at Harvard. Why investigators believe the act was intentional. And folks, expect a chilly start as you are looking live at Fenton and Cary this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking a strong cold front and when it could bring a chance of our first freeze here locally.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:44 and a pretty look outside right now. Down here in the corner, it almost looks like a street light. That's actually the moon. I'm going to try to find some other cameras with the moon before it sets. It's so pretty out there. Of course, we have the top of the tower lit in blue for clear skies this morning. It feels nice outside, but I'll tell you what, I did come in the great big puffy long coat this morning. It's chilly out there. It's 42 in Durham and Raleigh. There it is. There we got another moon shot. 49 in Fayetteville, and it's almost full. This time tomorrow morning, it'll be full. Lunch break forecast. We're getting a little bit chilly to, actually sit outside and have your lunch, but if you could find a sunny spot, it may not be too bad. The winds won't be as bad today as they will be tomorrow. Right around noon, temperatures will be in the mid 60s, and we're going to climb into the upper 60s this afternoon. We should actually feel comfortable. It'll be a pretty day today with lots of sunshine and mild temperatures this afternoon, so it'll be great for getting out and casting your vote.
Hey, just a reminder, if you do have pictures of the moon, make sure you send them to us, WRAL.com/report it. A new Duke Health study is raising concerns about vaping and pregnancy. Well, now researchers say what's most dangerous is not the nicotine. As WRAL's health reporter Grace Haba explains, the real risk seems to be what's in the flavors.
It's been about a decade since popularity first exploded across the U.S.
So many people started using these devices, especially adolescents.
The rise of vape culture is an issue our WRAL documentary unit investigated in Gen V.
It's been noticeable since I was in 6th grade. It's starting to get younger and younger.
Kids even before the age of 13 are trying vapes.
Now,
and we're mixing aggressively. We didn't know the effect on pregnancy in general and then the prior use in adolescence.
Duke researchers are uncovering an alarming truth about e-cigarette use and pregnancy.
We use animal models for this study, but we expose the animals to vapors, e-cigarette vapors, both early pregnancy and middle of pregnancy.
The study found not only did vapes with nicotine impact the growth of the baby and placenta development, but so did flavored vapes without any nicotine. They also increased risk of miscarriage.
When those flavorings are burned and inhaled, they can create really toxic effects in our bodies.
Margot Marbury, who led the new study, warned women need to be aware of the true dangers in front of them.
I think a lot of women start using them. Maybe they used cigarettes previously. There's a lot of misinformation that they're safer than cigarettes, so they pick up these devices during pregnancy. We don't know what's in them at all.
That was Grace Haba reporting. Mabry says more research is needed, and they also say another issue is that many of these flavored vapes also include alcohol as an ingredient. Well, this morning, police in Rhode Island are investigating after 3 people were shot and killed. Authorities in Woonsocket say the victims were shot inside an apartment building. A witness who was there managed to escape and called 911. One victim died at the scene, and the other 2 died after they were taken to the hospital. Police say there is no threat to the community, but at last check, no arrests were announced. And students at the State University of New York's Morrisville campus will not be in class today. That's because of a campus shooting. Police responded there yesterday afternoon and found a 20-year-old man who was shot in the neck. Investigators say he is expected to survive. He was not a student at the university, and no other injuries were reported. Also this morning, the search is on for 2 suspects who police say ran from a Harvard Medical School building after an explosion there. Harvard police released these pictures of the suspects. The explosion happened around 3 in the morning Saturday on the 4th floor of a research building on campus. Well, the explosion was so loud, some students say it shook them awake.
I just woke up, huge bang. Like I felt it in my body, my heart was racing, and then tried to fall asleep, and then like 5 minutes later I heard another bang, a second one.
Now, an officer tried to stop the two suspects from running away, but, well, then they discovered the scene. Investigators say the explosion appears intentional, and they also say no one was hurt. The building and the equipment inside were reportedly left intact. The FBI is helping in this investigation. A typhoon in the Philippines flooded streets and forced people to higher ground. You can see the cars and the debris floating with the runoff there. The typhoon, it brought sustained winds of 93 miles per hour and gusts up to 115. Goodness. You know, it's always heartbreaking when you see stuff like that, Elizabeth. It's affecting them so strongly over there. Obviously, it's a lot quieter here where we are at home.
It is, definitely. So we had a low pressure system yesterday that brought us some cloud cover in the morning. It moved right on out of here, and we take a live look at the Gardner Tower this morning, and we're looking nice and dry. As a matter of fact, it turned in the right direction. You're going to see a big, beautiful moon as you step out the door, at least in the next 30 minutes or so. 42 is our temperature, and so it's a chilly start this morning. I came in my big, giant puffy coat for the first time this year, but I may be outside a little bit later. Temperatures 46 in Roxborough, 47 in Rocky Mount, 49 in Fayetteville, 43 in Southern Pines. But with clear skies and fairly light winds, these temperatures are likely to drop a little bit more by the time we get to around 7 a.m. It is 42 in Durham, 44 in Knightdale, 41 in Cary, 42 in Holly Springs. So looking at low to mid 40s pretty consistently across the area. And we'll climb into the upper 60s for this afternoon for much of the viewing area with sunshine and fairly light winds today. It should be fairly comfortable. We take a look at tomorrow morning or late tonight. Definitely looking colder. 36 Roxborough, 37 Durham, 37 Fayetteville, 38 Southern Pines. So this is going to give us a much better chance of some frost. Right now, winds are fairly light, but as we get through the next day or so, our winds are really going to pick up. Right now, the high pressure system is sitting over us, and that tends to bring us fairly quiet weather. But as the high moves away, the difference between the low pressure system that will be approaching and the high will create windy conditions, and that will really kick in for us tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll see winds gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour. Definitely it will cause more leaf raking, but it's not likely to knock down trees or knock out power, fortunately. Today, slightly breezy winds, just gusting to 15, but gusting to 30 tomorrow, and then gusting to 20 on Thursday. So it will be a fairly breezy week. Now, once we get into the weekend, we're going to end up with a chance of maybe some showers on Friday into Saturday. Cold front comes through Sunday, and then Monday and Tuesday, our temperatures will be noticeably colder. Take a look at this. Tuesday, November 12th, we have a very good chance of frost and then possibly a hard freeze back to our west. The average first freeze for us right here is November 3rd. So that, of course, is yesterday. Temperature outlook for the next 6 to 10 days does remain below average. So once we see those temperatures starting to drop off on Monday, that may be with us for quite some time.
All right, thank you, Elizabeth. Your time now is 4:51. Honored with a star. Sherri Shepherd has a new star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. How this honors her 30-year-long career and what she says this means for her legacy. This morning, federal health leaders are warning about a deadly bacterial outbreak linked to grocery store pasta. The CDC says at least 6 people died from listeria contamination found in the prepared pasta meals. At least 27 people were infected after eating the products. The warning was made as food supplier Nate's Fine Foods, Inc. expanded its recall of the pasta. It was sold at major retailers, including Kroger, Trader Joe's, and Albertsons. Sherri Shepherd has a new star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Shepherd says she used to dream of one day having her own star. Plot twist, it's a reality now. Her 30-year-old career expands across television, Broadway, and publishing. We asked Sherri Shepherd about her star when she visited WRAL Studios last year.
I've been in this business for so long, and I think people think of me just as a talk show host, but I am an actress. I've been acting for a long time, and, you know, into philanthropy, and to be honored and recognized, it means a lot.
Shepherd is set to begin a comedy tour in January. One of Hollywood's most beloved entertainers, an Emmy, Grammy, and Tony winner, is nearly 100 years old. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Well, I never really thought of myself as a comedian, really. I'm an entertainer and a song and dance man.
Why look so awfully tragic? Put on a happy face. Dick Van Dyke turns 100 next month. The feature-length documentary, Dick Van Dyke 100th Celebration, includes some of his most famous performances and reminiscences from Van Dyke and many of his friends, co-stars, and collaborators. The doc is in theaters December 13th, Van Dyke's birthday, and 14th. Locations and tickets at fathomentertainment.com.
Santa's coming to town! Oh my God!
You can't have a winter entertainment memorabilia event without Elf. Prop Store's latest live auction features more than 1,300 items, led by Will Ferrell's costume from Elf. Star Wars fans may want to bid on Boba Fett's blaster from The Empire Strikes Back. Also on the block, Harrison Ford's fedora from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Christopher Reeve's cape from Superman 3, and the late Alan Rickman's personal shooting scripts from Die Hard and Love Actually. The auction takes place December 1st through the 3rd. You can check out all the offerings at PropStoreAuction.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Your time right now is 4:57. Ahead of 5. Today is Election Day. We're going to break down what you need to know before heading to the polls in your town. Plus, stretching your dollar. Holiday shopping, well, it can be expensive. 5 on your side shares what you need to know to make your money go further this season.